Hello everyone, today I would like to open a video series which I would name Know Your Palettes. So I will use the hashtag Know Your Palettes and also hashtag KYP, which means Know Your Palette. So what actually it means? This video series is probably the most interesting for those people who has a lot of cosmetic and actually they keep buying the new palettes and everything, thinking that create this particular look they need a new palette, and they have already bunch of the oldest version of the palettes from different brands, but actually they don't use them. This is reminds me as well. That's probably I decide that a lot of people might have the same issue. Really, sometimes we just don't know that we have this particular color and we get into rush to get the same color which we already have. So let's stop, let's calm down, let's think. There is so many releases at this moment. Every single company is trying to push a bunch of new releases on the market, and it's just the head going around and you are thinking where to get all this money to buy this stuff. So let's think. If you don't have those colors, so I definitely would suggest for you just buy it. At the same time, some palettes are so beautiful, so gorgeous, and still they have some uniqueness. So you really want to have this palette, like this particular color in this particular palette, definitely you're most welcome to buy them. But sometimes you think you don't know, but you have it, and because you think you don't have it, you buy it. In this particular situation, let's check what we have. Today I decided to do one look which I really like, and this is not a new idea. Right now Kylie, she has the collaboration with Balmain and they created this gorgeous beautiful palette. You can see this palette right here, and this palette is beautiful, it's gorgeous. This is not the first time I can see this color story in the palette. Some other brands had it before, and I think this is a very beautiful color story. She created this look using this palette and some other looks. I was thinking, yeah, actually I really like to have it. But recently, fortunately, I saw one video from Lisa Eldridge and she did very similar look to this one. So she used the mint, lilac and pink colors to create the beautiful look. I will give you the link down below for this particular tutorial from Lisa Eldridge. And I thought, wait a minute, I want to have these colors, but let's check if I have them already. Let's try to create the same look using whatever we already have. Okay, I'm gonna use my new touch-up primer. For now, I will move Kylie a little bit and start with my touch-up primer, Silk Canvas. It's a pressed silk, but it's based on silicone. So it's a silicone primer. It has this smell which Tatcha has. I have from Tatcha several products, and two products has the same smell. It's the cleanser, the green one, for oily skin type. I did a mistake. I bought the cleanser which for the oily skin type, but amazing cleanser, amazing. I never tried anything better than this cleanser because you feel that this cleanser works on your skin, you feel refreshed. But because it's for oily skin type, I decided maybe there is some ingredients which might not be very good for dry skin type. I don't know. I don't want to risk right now. At the same time, I have right now another cleansers which I really enjoy in them, and I will tell you in my separate video about the skincare. Okay, right now we are moving forward and creating a canvas. It's popular opinion right now on the beauty community and everyone comparing this primer with the e.l.f. one. Well, first of all, check the ingredients. Okay, if we're talking about the silicone primers, they are almost all the same. They just might have colors, for example, so you can check the colors. But the silicone primer, it's a silicone primer. It's the same main ingredient there. But Tatcha, it has a silk, pressed silk, as an ingredient right here, and some other ingredients which e.l.f. doesn't have. So according to the feeling, it might be the same, but according to the ingredients, it's a little bit different. So it has some extra ingredients, okay, probably, which is very useful for the skin. This is another fact which I cannot guarantee what actually silk gives to our skin. Maybe this silky appearance, maybe just a soft silk touch on the skin. That's it, luxurious feeling. We are moving forward, and I'm going to use Natasha Denona Transform Matte Foundation, and I will be mixing it with Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation, because this is a different color, it's lighter, and this is 40N neutral and this is 10 neutral. So I would like to mix it just a little bit to lift this color up. Okay, you have to shake it very well. This foundation, this doesn't have anything, maybe you have to shake it, but so it has a pump, and 1 pump would be enough of this foundation, and I just lift the color a little bit with half of pump, I would say, almost a pump, but not. I'm mixing them and applying to the skin. Recently I did a review on Natasha Denona foundations. You're most welcome to check those videos because it was pretty impressive for me. I'm also comparing to many other foundations there. Okay, this foundation dries, so you have to be pretty quick. I'm applying foundation on my eyes, a little bit whatever is left on the brush, so not exactly like the fresh foundation, which I just damped, not just damped brush, freshly damped brush. I'm applying the foundation. Recently I'm doing only this way, foundation, concealer, and then makeup, but I have to change this habit because right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bake this area, and I don't like that it's baked with the powder, or probably I should change the powder because right now I love this method to make it first. So I'm gonna apply my Giorgio Armani as a base and under eye area. This brush, the small one, it's not really blending the concealer. I'm just spreading it, and then I'm buffing with this brush, and this brush buffs everything just like a dream. You have this thinnest layer that it's almost invisible on your skin. Enhanced skin and invisible from the product. Definitely I'm gonna set a little bit my eyes with my Laura Mercier, and I'm just dabbing and removing almost all the product from my brush, and whatever is left, so it's just prevent from the creasing, and the shadows when you apply them already hold everything, like, because concealer is kind of cream texture, right, and then powder on top, everything is on place. But this is the first step. And now I'm gonna bake on the eye area to keep everything clean from the fallouts. Okay, now let's try to find the right color. So I have, you have it? You have it? I was running to buy this for 2 months because it was not available. You have this cute thing? Have you ever used it? Or you already bought a lot of Tarte palettes? Okay, Natasha Denona, Color Pop. Okay, when I saw this minty color on her eyes and in this palette, first I was thinking about this color. And in her palette, it is described as minty color with silver flecks. This is exactly what it is, and this is Natasha Denona. You cannot go wrong with this shade. This is stunning. So the first shade we have. The next shade, she has lilac, matte lilac shade. So it can be Zena from Natasha Denona, or let's check what else we have. We have Color Pop. It's My Pleasure, the beautiful palette, and also actually you can check Huda Beauty, these square palettes, small palettes, the same size she has. And okay, here you go. This is a fan fiction or kitten fish. So it's mentioned on Kylie website that it's warm lilac color, so probably it's very close to this color, maybe something also similar to this. Let me check Viseart Libertine palette. You probably have your own palette, so you can check them as well. This is the color you can use. If you check the Lisa Eldridge tutorial, you can see that she is using, on top of the lilac color, she took a pencil of the same shade but just darker tone, and it's very similar to this. So if you don't have this particular pencil, which I don't have, I might use this shade to darken that area, because you can see, let's check, you can see these two shades, this lilac and purple. So this definitely you can deepen this color if you need in certain areas. Okay, so we can keep it in mind, and let's just compare what we have here. Okay, so this is kind of, we can choose what we're gonna use. We have selection actually. So I'm gonna try Natasha Denona as a swatch right here. Okay, and I'm going with the kitten fish right here. Okay, and I'm going with the fan fiction, which is more warmer color. So we have a beautiful color story here, as you can see. Okay, and now Mint Frost. It's right here. Okay guys, so I think we covered already. I might check wet palettes. Not really. Probably some pink colors in Sunset. Let me check, because I remember something here, but it's pretty warm. Maybe I should just swatch it. No harm yet. So we can remember what we're gonna use. Okay, let's check what we have here. Maybe this is something very similar, but that one is much lighter. So this palette definitely not from that range. Anyway, I would like to remind you that most of you have, you know what it is? It's your singles. Probably you have a lot from Colourpop like I do. I have from Dose of Colors. I will have from Give Me Glow, from maybe Sydney Grace, a lot of singles. Just check them out, really, open and look at them. It's a lot of colors there, believe me. So this color is kind of blue, yeah, and there is also, you see, kind of lilac, or it's, yeah, lilac with blue reflect, so maybe we can use it. And there is this pretty, let me open here and show you. This is kind of lilac. Let me swatch that for you. Okay. This green, kind of emerald green. Oh, they're so creamy. Okay. So green probably not from that color story what we need, but maybe some pink colors I have. I have some nice pinky shade right here. It's kind of orangey. Let's just have a look. It's pretty shade which we might use in this look. So let's now have a look what she has used there. You can see she's using in the inner corner, definitely, this mint shade, which we will take from the Tropic palette. She used lilac almost all over her lid and something in between. I think it might be this shade from Colourpop, something like this in between, okay? And she using some transition shades, and we're gonna use those transition shades from this palette. You can see this shade can be a transition shade. Like it's almost this shade and this shade she has in her palette. Really? We have everything. So I'm gonna start with this particular color on my outer V and almost 2/3 of my lid. I'm gonna use some packing pressed, not long bristle, packing brush, okay? I'm dabbing it into the kitten fish, which is a very interesting name, and okay. For this particular look, I would recommend to go with Anastasia Beverly Hills primer, which is new one. It's a perfect canvas for this kind of look, but okay, I'm done with concealer, so I will proceed with concealer. We will check. I rely on Colourpop, it should work. Mostly the color is packed on her lid and it's coming into the inner corner a little bit, just kind of wash color. Colourpop is not disappointing with this shade. It's just amazing intensity even though it's very light color. Not ridiculously light color, but it's a light color, okay? And I am applying it without any issue. Now we would like to deepen a little bit the crease and I'm gonna apply it with one of my favorite brushes, and not expensive one, and it has this shape. It's a little bit pressed on one side, it's tapered, and it gives me a lot of precision to work with the crease especially. Okay, now we're going with this shade. I'm going with this shade, okay? Nudist from Natasha Denona. Nudist. Okay. Okay. And I would like to warm this area. Oh my gosh, it's going pretty well. Know your palette. I like this brush because it's blending seamlessly. It reminds me the wine gauze brushes which I have and which changed my life. This brush was the first in the whole collection, which gave me a thought that the brush might work different. And this is the brush. It was from the 5-piece set, which is not available anymore. It was kind of limited edition. Oh, with these limited editions, yeah. Now I would like to go with Color Pop. You can go with any kind of shimmers, which easy to do, and I will show you how. You can go, for example, this is Natasha Denona 28 Green Brown palette. You can go with this shade, for example, Flamingo, which is very similar actually with the skin. This one of the shades which is remind me the skin kinda, and they are not dark, so you're going with kind of light shade from her palette. They probably used the Night Out shade. It's kind of shimmery, but it's pink. So what you can do, you can take this kind of shade, which probably every palette has, even Urban Decay one, I believe. Let me show you. Yeah, with this kind of shade, and mix it a little bit with pink, which you might have even from here. Okay, so you're taking this shade, okay, and you taking this shade just a little bit. Okay, if you can see, this is the shade. What I'm gonna do, I think this shade is also pretty nice. Yeah, it's gonna work as well. It's pretty nice. It's very similar what she has in her palette. And this shade from Colourpop also, Jelly Much. Check your Jelly Much. Oh no, it's not Jelly Much. It's too orangey. So I think I'm going with this shade. Yeah, I think I'm going with this shade. That's nice to check, you know, to swatch a little bit, so you would understand. And I'm going with my finger. I'm going. It probably has a lot of glitter. She doesn't have that much glitter on her eyes in this area. We cannot guarantee 100%. You know what, to be more accurate, I actually would go with what I just offered you. Even though it's going to be very nice what I did right now, but I have to follow steps of what we're creating, yeah? I will remove a little bit. With the clean brush, it's difficult to remove this shade. Okay. We'll just add a little bit here, so they would almost the same. But I will cover it with this shade, and actually I go from Urban Decay Born to Run. And then we are going to Lilac with this shade. Just to warm it a little bit. I might go on a little bit, and I would like to highlight it. Just a tiny bit with something from... It's better to go with this kind of shade, just to highlight it a little bit, but I think we're going right direction. So I just... This shade, it called Cream. Okay. It's very similar, yeah? And now the last step, which I adore. I love this color so much. I will take the angled brush. You can take any brushes for the inner corner. I'm going to the Mint Frost and applying to the area kind of inner portion of the low lid. And I'm going dry. I'm going dry. I think the eyeshadow perform even worse because what I have right now, I think it's more vibrant. And I will have to blend it a little bit because even dry it goes so well. I don't like this foiled effect when you wet the brush and then apply it. It's so foiled effect that your lid doesn't look natural. It's it starts looking very heavy, and I like to have those quality of the eyeshadow when it's metallic and shimmer, whatever, and it goes dry with intensity and maximum color payoff. So I think this shade, it performs perfectly. I like what I have right now, but definitely according to the look I have to blend it a little bit. I will blend not with the same brush because it's a little bit big. It's kind of smudging brush. I just would like to take kind of small worker with a small shader brush from Delium Tools, and I would like to blend it just a little bit. Actually, I will go with the same shade, which as a transition shade, okay? Okay. She doesn't have, or at least we cannot see on the picture, pretty much under her eye, but I think we can go a little bit with a transition shade. Let's try to do something. I'm going with Pastel Lemon. It's very similar transition shade which she has in her palette. I would like to use it under eye area because I want to keep the upper lid like it has, and not to go on my lower lid. But I would like to add a little bit lilac outer corner. So I'm going to this area right here just to make a kind of connection there. I would like to add the mint frost on the inner corner a little bit, like so. And this is actually closest look, which I really like. But let's put some mascara and false lashes and we're done. I just would like double check my under eye area. I would like to go with the fluffy brush and connect everything together and blend it into the skin. Now I am dabbing into the same brush we used as a transition shade. I just would like to blend it here, some edges, remove them, and create a shape. Okay. So for my underbrow area, we can go from this palette, but this color probably is too intense, so this palette is not for the brow area. It's very intense. I just would like to make some clean brush and remove some harsh areas. Make it smoother. It came out very bright, even though. Let's do some lilac on the waterline. I do have some very similar shade. I will put it on my eye, but I will set it with the same lilac shade from here. But it goes pretty close to what I have right now. Let me do it out of the camera. I really like to apply the color on the waterline because I think it really pop up your eyes. It has a sheen, so it's kind of pink and it has a sheen, so I really like this sheen. So it's kind of blue sheen, purple sheen, lilac sheen, so it's kind of pink with the lilac sheen. It's Urban Decay 24x7 Glide on Pencil Asphyxia, or Asphyxia, lower lash line. Now my palette has a different look. Try to find the difference. It's very nice, it's magnetic, so it's not on the glue, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Colourpop. It's nice. I would like to blend, still I would like to blend it a little bit with the cream. To make it more smooth. Here I will use cream under my brow area, and actually I would like to use flamingo. So and just a clean brush, so I don't want to have too much shadows there. Just very subtle highlighting there. Okay. I would like to apply my bronzer, my blush and highlight, and after that I will finish my lashes. Okay, I'm gonna use Hourglass in nude bronze light. This is amazing bronzer. I love it so much because the color is very soft and you cannot go wrong. You build it slowly and I really appreciate it. Some colors you have to build it up. Some colors you have to blend. So this color you have opportunity to build it up. That's why if it's not enough, you're still okay. Actually, before I had the wrong color of my foundation and it's darker. And it really goes easy. Right now I have lighter tone of my foundation and it goes dark and I can see, I obviously can see that. So I would like to apply it on this area, my jaw area. I'm taking another brush for the nose. Blush I'm gonna use from Natasha Denona, and I will go with the peachy color, and I will go with, I love these blushes, they're very subtle, it doesn't go too much at first step. I have the opportunity to build it up as well. Just to fresh it up. I'm gonna use my highlighter from the same palette because it's my favorite of all time highlighter for every day. It gives you glow, but it's very subtle and it's very nice. Bridge of my nose, Cupid bows. I'm not doing too much highlight over there because I have some texture on my forehead, and highlight usually emphasize those areas, definitely. So do highlighting, but it's just emphasize your pros, not cons, because cons to be emphasized with highlighter as well. Okay, now I would like to do my brows, and I'm going with the Tarte Art Architect, just a regular pencil, as everyone has, each company. Okay, now I would like just to fill a little bit my brows. I'm not going crazy. I'm not changing the shape of my brows. I'm a little bit upset because I didn't know that I broke them, but actually, yeah, I broke one shade from Colourpop palette, which is very beautiful one. Moving forward. I want just to keep my brows in place. And this is the final look for my lips. I used Toast from Dose of Colors and No Shade from Dose of Colors in collaboration with Daisy and Katie. This is a peachy tone, very light, very nude. For my skin tone, it's a little bit light, so it's wash my lips at all. That's why I'm adding a little bit for definition Toast, which is perfect nude, warm tone. It's, I would say, also peachy tone, so they mix together perfectly, I would say, to create a dimension, kind of a little bit contour your lips, and this one kind of highlights your lips. Okay, so this is the final look. This is how you actually can use for this look the whole palette from Natasha Denona. It would be a little bit different in tone, but it's gonna be exactly almost the same, right? And this My Pleasure palette, it's My Pleasure palette from Colourpop. It's just giving you the idea that it's exactly the same tone, and it's very cheap. I really like this. I'm so in love with this palette, and I think you cannot get enough from this palette. I really regret that the Tropic palette is a limited edition, even though Natasha Denona issued these shades in a small mini version, which she does frequently for some shades, okay? But I think that she should create this palette in a mini size or a smaller size, what she did with the Sunrise palette, really. Okay, this size was a limited edition, but please do the Sunrise size for this palette. I think this palette is incredibly beautiful, and the transition shade which she has right here is stunning. This shade, actually these two shades, forced me to buy this palette, because this mint shade, okay, you have now in Kylie palette this shade, but it's not the same formula. The formula of these shades are stunning from Natasha Denona. This particular shade, it's very rare, and you probably might find very similar shade to this one from Mint collection from Dose of Colors, but that's gonna be with gold flecks. I have the shade, but I won't be able to show you that right now, just for the sake of time. This shade, it has a duo, so it has a base which you apply, and then the loose pigment, but it has golden flakes, which sometimes you don't need those gold flakes. For example, for this look, I would prefer silver flags. It goes perfectly. So, Natasha Denona, please make this palette is in mini size. So it's gonna be like twice cheaper, and it's more affordable. It's already in the high-end price, but it's very affordable. Ooh, this palette is a must-have for sure. So this particular look is very close to what you could get from the Balmain collaboration. I hope you enjoyed this video. There is subscribe button, there is ring bell button. Click both of them. You will be notified every time I am posting a new video. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.